guys probably had fun a couple of weeks ago with the whole because one of them was Patrick, one of them was Brady. Is this a roughing the passer? Is this not? There were some really funny, memes out there. I mean, I guess my point is that was definitely not consistent.
No, 100%. And that is the thing with roughing the quarterback, roughing the passer. It's not consistent at all when it comes to who's getting the calls, who's not getting the calls.
Yeah, and was it the? I think it was that same weekend when I'm pretty sure it was the Chiefs when somebody from the Chiefs went to
Chris
sack.
Jones.
Yeah,
Chris Jones sack against Derek Carr.
Exactly, against Derek Carr. That was it. Yeah. And it was a fumble. I mean, he's not paying attention now to the quarterback. He's trying to get the ball, and ended up falling on top of him. Like that was such a bad call, I thought.
So as a quarterback, seeing the ways they're trying to protect the quarterback, what do you make of all that?
I mean, to me, it just none of them should have been called. I mean, the one on Patrick was not called, if I remember correctly, right? It
wasn't, yeah.
The Derek Carr one should not have been called. The Tom Brady one should not have been called. I mean, there was a meme where the guy picked up his girlfriend and laid her down and said, "This is roughing the passer in the NFL" or something. It was pretty funny. If the guys, I mean, I get what they're trying to do because it's when you get hit like that and both arms are in, and your shoulders going into the ground, that's where guys get hurt. And you have a guy that weighs, 275 pounds that's on top of you. Something has to give. So I get that protecting. And nowadays the guys seem to, turn court when they are sacking them. If it's a pretty clean sack of kind of turning the quarterback so he either lands on top of you or he lands on the ground next to you, kind of without slamming him, which I think is a good thing. I kind of always go back to the I can see it in my head, the clip of McMahon getting slammed on his head years ago by someone from the Vikings, I think it was. Anyway, nobody wants to see that. That's not that kind of stuff's not good for the game. Period.
Yeah, and I think what happened with Tua. I think that was the following week after what happened with Tua. So I think the referees kind of were overcompensating with what happened there and trying to.
Yeah.
I get it. They're trying. It's a fine line.
It is a fine line, and the 2-1. I didn't watching it. I didn't necessarily think it, and I don't remember if they called a penalty. I don't think they did, and I didn't think it was a penalty. The one with Tua was that he hit the back of his head, and that's the worst. That's the worst spot. The worst part of that was that he got up and staggered, and they didn't take him out. I mean. He came back in the game. That's the bad part about that.
Oof, yeah.
I mean, that's to me. I mean, I'm not a doctor, but having seen guys get concussed, that was an immediate sign to me.
Yeah. Well, and in fact, they said it was a lower back injury. That's why he fell down like that. Come on.
Come on. Yeah. I'm like I said, I'm not a doctor, but I got that one.
Yeah. I think I saw Colin Cowherd's show. Colin Cowherd saying, I think just they need to have it for roughing the passer. They need to have two things. Like how the college game, they do the reviews when it's targeting. They review it to see, the guy should be thrown out or not. You review that to see if it is legitimate roughing the passer. And then also if the guy wobbles after a play, then automatically, whether he passed the test or not, he's done for that game. He wobbled that after a big hit.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole targeting thing in college, to me, I'm not crazy about it, to be honest. I think they look at it or consider targeting too much. I mean, yeah, sometimes, yeah, I'm that defensive back or has, a linebacker, whoever it is, hitting a receiver or running back, a tight end. To me, the targeting is, somebody's coming up trying to rake somebody, those kinds of hits. I mean, yeah, you could be going in with your shoulder, and maybe that person that's going to get hit is going to lower their head naturally, because your biggest weapon and your biggest protector is your helmet. You're not gonna let somebody stick their shoulder in your sternum if you don't have to.
Exactly.
We get sidetracked, but I'm just going to say that the roughing the passer one now, to me, is now like what pass interference has been over the last few years. To me, pass interference just drives me nuts. They need to do away with it, and they don't seem to be calling it as much.
True.
Just call it holding, make it a 10-yard penalty, and move on, because the pass interference thing just changed too many games. I mean, hell,
it's definitely
Brady gets one-on-one, and he'll just throw it up, knowing that he's got probably a 2/3 chance that it's either pass interference or it's a completion. I mean, I don't blame them. That's part of the game. If you can get away with it, but just make it a 10-yard penalty.
But the spot you're talking about, making the spot foul aspect of it.
Yeah, just don't make it a spot foul.
Yeah. No, that's it. That's interesting.
It seems like they're trying to do that more this year.
Because you're seeing, you're right. You're seeing more that the holding call on DBs, not so much pass interference on the DBs. Which
exactly.
It's on that first down still, but it's a 5-yard penalty, not a spot foul. So
right. That's just, to me, that's a better way to go.
100%. No, I totally agree with you.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get podcasts.